Golden Bachelorette, who was Chock Chapple's fiancée Kathy. Golden Bachelorette winner Chock Chapple is now engaged to Joan Vassos. However, as he's mentioned on the show, he was also engaged in the past to a woman named Kathy for 9 years. Sadly, she passed away from cancer in 2022. He spoke highly of Kathy, but didn't share very much about her on the show. Who was Kathy? Keep reading to find out more. Who was Chock Chapple's fiancée Kathy? Chock Chapple did have love and life before Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos. He was engaged to Kathy. She was a mother of 2 and a beloved daughter, friend and fiancée. Kathy considered her 4 furry friends part of her immediate family. One dog referred to in Kathy's obituary actually belongs to Chock. He refers to his dog as Super Tubbs. Above all, she was a wonderful mother who rarely missed one of her kids' sporting events. She supported them in everything they did. Kathy was loved by all who knew her and enjoyed working with her father on a daily basis. She served as vice president at White and Ellis Drilling, Incorporated. One of her big passions was Q basketball. She even followed them all over the country with her friends to watch games. It was noted in her obituary that travel was also a big part of her life. She loved to share her travel stories with others. Chock noted on the Golden Bachelorette that Kathy was only diagnosed with cancer 5 months before she passed away. Why did he never get married? Fans have questioned why Chock Chapple did not marry Kathy in the 9 years they were together. In a previous interview, Chock shared that they never got married because she wanted to wait until both of her children were out of school. The reasons behind her decision were not revealed. Oddly enough, there are no photos of the 2 of them together on either of their social media accounts. When she passed away, Chock shared a photo of her facing away from the camera. He noted what a wonderful person she was and how much everyone would miss her. Of course, fans know that Joan Vassos also lost her husband to cancer. The 2 were able to bond over their loss. Now, they have found love again with each other. They are moving on with their future and know that both John and Kathy would approve of their engagement. The inaugural season of The Golden Bachelor took audiences on an emotional roller coaster, with Jerry Turner's journey for love capturing hearts. But the spin-off series Golden Bachelorette took things to a whole new level, diving into the lives of remarkable women over 60, each with their own love stories, heartbreaks, and triumphs. Amid this illustrious lineup of contestants was the ever-charming Chock Chapple, a retired musician with a disarming smile and an equally mysterious past. Viewers couldn't stop buzzing about one thing: his enigmatic former fiancée, Kathy. Who was Kathy? This question rippled through Bachelor Nation like wildfire. Chock's brief mentions of her during his one-on-one moments with the Bachelorette hinted at a love story so intense, it left scars that shaped the man he was today. Kathy's name became synonymous with intrigue, a shadow lingering just beneath the glimmering surface of Chock's sunny disposition. The story begins. Kathy's introduction. Kathy, as it turns out, was no ordinary woman. Born Kathleen Marie Dunsmore in the early 1960s, she grew up in the small town of Traverse City, Michigan. Kathy's childhood was a tapestry of Midwestern charm and quiet ambition. Her father was a school principal, her mother an art teacher, and Kathy inherited their passion for education and creativity. By the time she reached her 20s, Kathy had transformed into a magnetic force of nature. With an adventurous spirit, she moved to New York City to pursue a career in publishing. She became a respected editor at a major lifestyle magazine, crafting articles that spoke to the modern woman's sense of empowerment. But for all her professional success, Kathy was, at heart, a dreamer searching for a love as big as the stories she edited. Love blossoms. Enter Chock Chapple. The 2 met at a jazz festival in New Orleans in the summer of 1984. Chock was the lead guitarist for a touring blues band, and Kathy had tagged along with friends for a weekend escape from the grind of Manhattan. Their meeting was the stuff of romantic comedies. Kathy spilled her mint julep on Chock's guitar case, leading to an awkward apology that melted into laughter. Chock, ever the charmer, strummed a playful tune to serenade her on the spot. Kathy was captivated, and so was he. Their relationship was a whirlwind. Chock's free-spirited lifestyle as a musician contrasted with Kathy's structured world of deadlines and boardroom meetings. But somehow, They balanced each other. They traveled together, from the neon-lit streets of Tokyo to the sun-dappled cliffs of Santorini. Chock wrote songs inspired by Kathy's fiery independence, while Kathy found herself crafting poetry for the first time in years, her muse reignited by his carefree passion. By 1987, Chock proposed on a quiet beach in Malibu, with only the waves and the setting sun as witnesses. Kathy said yes, tears streaming down her face, but the engagement was far from a fairy tale. A love tested. As the years passed, the cracks began to show. Chock's career demanded constant travel, while Kathy's magazine responsibilities grew heavier as she climbed the corporate ladder. The couple struggled to find time for each other, their once passionate connection strained by distance and competing priorities. Then came the tragedy that would forever alter their trajectory. In 1990, Kathy was diagnosed with breast cancer. The news shook them both to the core. Chock wanted to drop everything to support her, but Kathy insisted he continue touring. "You bring joy to the world with your music," she told him. "Don't let my fight take that away." For 2 years, Kathy battled fiercely, undergoing chemotherapy and leaning on her tight-knit circle of friends for support. Chock called every day, his voice a balm during her darkest hours. But as Kathy began to recover, she realized something had changed. Her near-death experience had given her a renewed sense of purpose, and she yearned for a life of stability and introspection, a life Chock's nomadic lifestyle couldn't provide. In 1993, with heavy hearts, Kathy and Chock mutually decided to end their engagement. They parted ways amicably, their love for each other still evident, but no longer enough to sustain a shared future. Sometimes, Kathy wrote in her journal, "The right person comes at the wrong time." And that's the greatest tragedy of all. Life after love. Kathy's post-Chock life was one of quiet fulfillment. She retired early and moved to Asheville, North Carolina, where she opened a boutique bookstore specializing in poetry and rare editions. She found joy in the small things: morning hikes along the Blue Ridge Mountains, tending to her flower garden, and hosting book clubs that often turned into impromptu wine nights. Although she never married, Kathy remained a romantic at heart. She once told a close friend, "You only get one great love story. Chock was mine." Chock, meanwhile, continued to tour well into his 50s before settling down in Nashville, where he became a sought-after session musician and mentor to younger artists. He eventually married and had children, but Kathy's memory lingered. During a confessional on Golden Bachelorette, he admitted, "Kathy taught me what love should feel like. Even though it didn't last, it shaped who I am." Kathy's influence on Golden Bachelorette. Chock's candidness about Kathy resonated with viewers and contestants alike. In a particularly moving moment, he shared a song he'd written for her during their engagement. The performance brought tears to the eyes of the Bachelorette, who later remarked, "You don't just fall in love with someone like Chock. You fall in love with the depth of his stories, too." Speculation about Kathy's life since their breakup reached a fever pitch. Was she watching the show? Had she ever considered reconnecting with Chock? Fans scoured social media and internet forums, hoping to piece together the puzzle of her life. A cryptic comment on a Golden Bachelorette fan page fueled rumors. "True love never dies, it just evolves." Signed K. A poignant twist. The season finale brought an unexpected twist. While Chock didn't win the final rose, his journey inspired a beautiful moment of closure. During the After the Final Rose special, Chock revealed that Kathy had reached out after seeing him on the show. The two exchanged heartfelt letters, reflecting on their past and the ways they had grown since parting. "Kathy is my unfinished symphony," Chock said, his voice trembling. "But maybe that's what makes her so beautiful. She's proof that love, even when it ends, leaves a melody that never fades." As the audience applauded, it became clear that Kathy's impact extended far beyond Chock's story.